Hey guys, welcome back to Hardcastle Homestead. I just thought I'd jump on here and we just go over a garden tour. I do apologize now. I am super gross, red, sweaty, but it's July, it's hot. Our front and our backyard need to be mowed before I wanted to make this video. So enough said. I mowed and then instantly finishing up my podcast, of course, was like, you know what, let's turn on the camera. I don't want to wait for a shower. I just want to get into it and show all of you guys what's going on in the garden here on July 3rd, the day before the 4th of July. A lot has changed, so here we go. Okay, still trying to catch my breath. It's very, very humid out, but I don't hate it because it's better than being super dry, right? So you can see my dill is starting to go to seed. For those that need to see the differences, here is it getting ready to go seed. I will be cutting this back, taking off the stems and using them for refrigerator pickles and canning pickles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut right about here, hang my dill upside down, and have a paper bag over it to catch all the seed as it falls. But here's what it looks like before it goes all brown, and then just a comparison right next to it with the seeds being ready. So nasturtium is definitely dying back. The calendula is, it's going well because so right here, this is what calendula seeds look like, and I love them because they look so weird. They kind of look like seashells to me. But we are going to be harvesting our own calendula seed because I want to grow more next year. I want this whole green bed to be calendula next year, which will be epic. Dahlias are starting to want to come in full bloom, and nasturtium in the hanging baskets is dying very fast too. But these yellow ones, I think they're Melbas. I got them at MI Gardener. They are the only ones that are still looking amazing. And they're gorgeous on the inside. Can you see that? So, kind of going with that. I've been picking a lot of calendula. The bee balm's been going great. The bees are loving it. My roses are finally recovering, which I didn't know was going to happen this year at the roses with the polar vortex because my hydrangea really took a hit. This will be the last week. You are seeing kale and my little cabbage down in there will be getting harvested. He's probably going to be really tiny, but I still am going to harvest him and use him. I will amend this bed, well, at least this third of it, and I will be probably putting in some herbs if I can find any for really cheap at nurseries since it is now July. Good pro tip, go to nurseries in July. They usually still have stuff and they're marking everything half off if not more. So more kale that will be getting taken out, but my peppers are looking gorgeous. So these were the Anaheims. Those are the Hatch and the Draculas. They're still doing great. I have picked off the first round of the Amish paste. I will probably not do plastic buckets ever again because this has not been a fun experience, but a good learning lesson. Cherry tomatoes did fine, but anything bigger than a cherry tomatoes really struggled. So, life lesson. My purple fingerling potatoes are looking amazing. We will be harvesting them this week as well, so there's going to be big changes in the next video. But if you didn't watch the video I posted on the 3rd today, we are going over what happened in this bed, which was the garlic bed, the hardneck garlic bed. I have already gone through and I have the seed packets there of what I'm going to be growing next, but I've planted the seeds. And here's what we got. The Royal Burgundy and my gardener. And the purple teepees, like I've said before, I love purple beans. They do cook to green, but it's an aesthetic. You should grow something lovely. You should grow something that you enjoy to look at every day. This was the potato bed, and the tomatoes that I've put in here are really starting to take off. Their darker leaves are coming on, and I am going to need to be supporting these soon-ish. But my goal for this bed is right up here through the middle. I'm going to plant, once there's some shade with the tomatoes, lettuce crop for the fall. So in here, the eggplant, big changes here too. I have got, if you can see over there, sorry, finger in the right there. Eggplant there, eggplant there. You peek down inside the bushes. More eggplants. These are round eggplants. They're an Italian variety. As you can see, they've been decimated by pests, but I'm still getting eggplants, so that makes me happy. My lemon thyme is looking glorious. The pollinators are loving it. This will eventually just be an herb bed, which is why thyme has been planted here. It comes back yearly, and it will become this entire bed eventually. And we've got our lemon spice peppers, chives, as you've seen several times before. I'm really needing to support these tomatillos though. They're getting so heavy and they are needing some support. But the fruit coming on is in quite an abundance. This one down here, look at that. It's ridiculous, but it's awesome. It's ridiculous awesome. Random basils that finally have caught up. We've got peppers. I believe this looks like a shishito. This was one of those random ones. My daughter pulled the tags out, but oh yes, this is definitely shishitos. So yay, we finally have an identification. And then back here and over here are the habaneros, the heated ones. I have the habaneadas in the tower over there. And one thing I like to do with my flower succession planning is when I have the spring flowers finally pittering out, which are the poppies, we then have growing up in between them normally a summer variety. So we've got some pretty, I think these were Orange King zinnias from Baker's Creek. I do not know if they still have them. They might. But some of the ones that I love that I've had for years, I couldn't find this year to supplement Baker's Creek at least. They're out there. They're just not on my normal websites I like. Look at this though. Like, I don't want to break it off. Can you see how big this is? Like my finger can't get around where the stem is. These black brandywines are massive. I mean, like my whole hand. It's my whole hand. I mean, it's not a huge hand. I mean, it's a wide hand, but it's not like long fingers, but it's still my whole hand is a tomato. Got some lovely weeds. Got some basil. It's really warm, guys. I don't recommend making a garden video after mowing. I'm feeling it. But we shall continue because I do really enjoy making these videos and talking way too much. So this is okra. I just direct sowed it to see what would happen. I've never grown okra. We're gonna see how it goes and see if I like okra. I will even take a video of you guys watching me eat okra for the first time as an adult. I know I did not like it as a kid though, but I'm going to give it another try. So I will let you guys come along that journey with me. Still have kale. And then I'm thinking what I did back here, or I'll peek around to the side. I'm pretty sure it's sunflowers of different varieties, but their leaves are different from each other. So for a while I thought this guy was a zinnia, but I'm pretty sure he's a sunflower. I don't know. This guy definitely is a sunflower. Because originally I put them back there and something ate a lot of them. Pole beans. It's crazy how much this has grown in just a week since my last video. I think I filmed on the 23rd of June. Yeah, and it's already, this top part, as tall as I am, and I am 5'2", proud, 5'2" by the way. And over here we've got our sweet dumpling squash starting to finally take off. I did not plan this very well though, with the tomatoes being right there, so he is shaded. I've got plenty of seeds of him. I can always grow him again next year if nothing happens this year, but I'm just kind of experimenting and letting things grow as they want to grow. When I see things though like this, trying to train them to go more towards that. And also over here, I have got the honey nut squash. So it's like a butternut, but it's like this bright, gorgeous yellow color with streaks in it, and it's a little bit smaller. Here, you can see a pretty flower while I get some oxygen in my brain. I did harvest today. We're having green beans and mashed potatoes, both from the garden for dinner, and we grilled out some chicken thighs. Ooh, here's some more. My canna lilies, now that I've pulled some stuff, are starting to bloom and blossom and be gorgeous. And then another one of the orange kings. Makes me happy. So in here, I definitely have mislabels. But I do have shallots for sure still going in here. Like in here, it's a shallot. I know that's over here a shallot, where there's a shallot. I can't remember the variety because I just randomly got them on a discount at a nursery and I didn't write down the variety, even though they were doing their due diligence and they wrote it down on their part. I've got reds. I don't remember what red I planted. So this could be like a red shallot or maybe just a small bulb red onion. I'm not sure. This was where the onions are, which I've harvested them and they are hanging up in the greenhouse to air dry. This was just an easier method than what I did last year, which was using a storage rack. Some of the onions were too small and fell out. But I've already replanted this, and I believe I did a freckled lettuce. I know I did another round of 4 seasons and red romaine, because there's like 4 rows. And I went really sparse on the seeds so they could actually create heads of lettuce with the romaine. And Little Gems was the last one, because from what I've seen in other videos, they're a little bit more heat tolerant than some other varieties. In my squash area over here, we have got 2 little babies. And what I'm noticing, because I'm not, dare I say this for anyone who is like not comfortable with their abundance right now, I've only picked 1 zucchini in 3 weeks. I'm not having an aphid issue that bad. I think I'm just having some issues where I have a lot of male flowers, but not a lot of female flowers. So I don't really know how to remedy that besides just time. The actual measure of time and movement, not time the herb. Da-dunch, dad joke. Watermelon is looking lush. And there is the Moon and Stars watermelon. This is the Blacktail Mountain watermelon. And they're actually, this is the best I've ever done watermelon, so I'm excited for that. If anyone ever tries to convince you to get a corded lawnmower so that you're not using fossil fuel, just buy the battery one and buy an extra battery. It's so hard mowing my yard with a corded push lawnmower. It's like one extra step you don't want to deal with. So in here, I mean, there's still some cucumbers I'm letting go for the day or 2 over here, but I harvested 5 cucumbers today. My squash plants I went ADHD this year with all my squash plants, but tell me what you think. Because this one doesn't have a tag anywhere near its base, and it's definitely vining. I'm pretty sure this is like an acorn squash. There's another one for reference point. I've never grown acorn squash. This is the first year for that. Over here, this is the pickling cucumber side. So lots of little babies getting ready to party with me, and some candy worlds. There we go, finally zooming or focusing. We've got some lettuce leaf basil I've been picking and enjoying. Only one came up though, so it's been sparingly. Over here, this is where I had issues with a lot of the squirrels and the bugs and the birds and everything. Just wanting to eat everything. So I just planted a lot of random squash. I'm so sorry, guys. But that looks like butternut. I'm pretty sure I double planted the honey nut butternut squash I got. Because here's another one. I know. And here somewhere, there was another one hanging. And over here, I don't know what this yellow guy is. Help, I don't do squash a lot. I live in Missouri, so I deal with squash bugs. And this year, I was being brave. I'm gonna definitely move him a little bit though, so that he doesn't grow in through the fence line, because that would be unfortunate. Little dahlia. Let's see, there we go. Isn't she pretty? And then peeking in here. Hello, my little squash family. So if you're in the comments and you have grown a lot of squash, please help me. The ginger, the gladiolus growing through the ginger. And see, here's what I even mean. I just have a bunch of different random shaped squash all in this one little section, and I hope I don't shoot myself in the foot over it. But he's starting to vine as well, so he's a viner, and he is going towards the trellis, which I have been training him that way to try and get him to grow up on this trellis. That one's not really vining as much. I know that might help, that might not help. But jumping over here, one of the tips I've been doing from a lot of the flowering, like production places that are still homesteaders, but that's where their income comes from. I'm cutting main stems once they bloom here, and then this offshoot growth is going to explode. So by cutting this main guy when he does bloom, instead of just letting him stay on and be prettier, it's creating more flowers and more bushing, because it's telling the plant its job is not done for the season. They need to put out more flowers. These have been doing really good this last week, and it's probably the heat, because we had a few 95 to 100 degree days in a row. It was miserable for us, but the plants loved it, or at least most of the plants loved it. So these peppers were the Great North ones, and they've been doing great. I planted purple tea peas here, and that is what we are consuming tonight, is purple tea peas and the Kalima beans. I don't remember the bean I planted here though, and I'm pretty sure it's a shelling bean. So I will be going back through my photos and actually labeling this section, because if it's not a shelling bean, I'm missing a lot of beans. So yay. Always keeping busy in the garden, right? The herb wall is looking amazing. So we've got some mint julep, some calendula, some oregano, some peppermint. We've got chamomile. Look at this little guy. You're gonna be coming inside with me later and drying. We've got dill, Got more calendula hiding out around the corner there. We've got bee balm up in the very top. We've got catmint, catmint. All things that you want to grow in containers. Look how, I'm so happy. The tomatoes were stunted for so long. And looking at my time hop of things coming up a year, 2 years, 3 years ago, it was making me really sad with how behind my tomatoes are for what normally is going on in my season. But my first Dr. Witchy tomato has came on, yay. And then my first of the Genovesa, everyone pronounces it different. And then over here is my Paul Robeson's. And let's see, oh, there's a baby. Little baby tomato. So and there's flowers. That's the best part. There's flowers. They're gonna be blooming. So yay. One thing that is interesting though is look at the size difference of this Abe Lincoln to those Abe Lincolns. Not quite sure what happened there. Gonna come around front. So over here's our purple Cherokees. These three. You see they're glorious. And once again, putting on fruit. And you can kind of see one, well, I can see one peeking through. It's kind of hard when you're trying to do it through the phone's eyeball, not your own personal eyeballs, but there's lots of flowers coming on, which is awesome, which means I will have fruit soon. I can stop freaking out. I'm not gonna have any tomatoes, but great learning moment. Also, I might have to pause this video and quickly snap a picture of this because this angle looks really cool, but this is a crazy ephaciated blossom. I will be picking this. I do not need to grow this. That will not grow into a beautiful plant. So I will be just showing you guys how to take it off. It's gone. It's gone. I'll take a picture of this angle later on. We've got the pink brandywines. And let's see. We're tomato hunters here in Missouri. Oop, there we go. First baby. Got flowers. Lots of flowers on this baby. So yay. Here's a kind of what I use for my tying trellis. I just buy it on Amazon, it's like $5. And my Abe Lincolns giving me flowers. I don't think I saw any tomatoes on these guys yet, but there's lots of flowers up above on this guy. The other two are still playing catch up on growth, but I know they will get there. They're not crazy stunted. Oh, finally started to cool off. I think it also dropped in temperature though. This is what happens when I mow, by the way, if you want real life, real action. I lift up the sides where the splash pad is, and I just kind of push the trampoline once I mow a patch that's safe for it. I just kind of push everything into the middle there. It'll get put back tomorrow, I promise. But look, my yard's mowed. That doesn't happen very often. I still need to weed whack, obviously. I mean, you can tell right there, it was getting bad. But over here, we do have carrots. And you can see they're starting to get orange shoulders popping out. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time. Not gonna make the dad joke again, even though I'm thinking it in my brain. Got some really good ones over here. And all the way down there, it's also more carrots and weeds. Welcome to my life. And then we've got tomatoes. And these were the blue creams. And then Martino Romas. I don't remember. These were ones without tags. Because I planted these. They need to be supported. All of them do, really. But this is life with a part-time job, a toddler, trying to maintain the yard. Some things slip through the cracks. If you've never seen lettuce in a flowering state, though, look. This is what it looks like. To me, it's gorgeous. I love it. And these were the Merlot lettuce. Such good flavor. Plus, they pretty up a salad, and that's important to me. And fun facts, I don't show it that often, but my pollinator garden has really been upping its game on its wildness. So I will be coming through. If for some like really cool probability you're gonna find me and be interested, leave it in the comments and let me know if you want to come along the journey as I harvest leaves and the flower heads for making echinacea tea, because that's what I plan to do with it. And then that's a hot mess. Chalk, hula hoops, random chairs, grilling, barbecuing, real life, you know. My roses are starting to recover, which is awesome. I've not been doing any fertilizer for them this year. Last year, at least, I was being kind to them with that, but I probably could get back to doing that. But one other really cool thing before I flip it around is my little bee hotel. Look, can you see? Sorry, scared the shit out of me. I'll try to be brave, guys. One day, I might have bees if I don't make that sound every single time. But look, it's dripping. It's deliciousness. I love it. I love them. They just scare me when they fly out at me. But yeah. So, as you can see, also, you don't see him as much, but that's my garden dog. His name is Buster. He is awesome. He is 11 years old. He needs a bath also. But he's a good boy. He makes mommy happy. He doesn't like, he's camera shy though, I guess. He doesn't want to be out here with me. Normally he'll follow me in the garden and he'll go and lay in the shade spots while I'm working and while the toddler's on the splash pad, which is why you don't see him a lot, because he's doing his own thing, which is fine. But yeah. It's July. It's that happy point for gardeners. This is my garden. I am so proud of this garden, and proud's the wrong word, but I'm just excited that those who are watching are here enjoying my garden with me, because if you have been in a situation where you start talking to people about gardening and they don't have the same interests as you, or they see it as a full-time job and just too much work with what's going on in their personal life. Also, the dog's gonna bark. Neighbor dogs. Yay, city life. Let me get out of the sunlight. I'm pale and I burn, as you can see. It's very rude. I don't have any makeup on right now. It's gross, guys. I'm sorry. Not that I need to wear makeup, but one day I'd like to do a video for you guys where I look kind of pretty instead of just sweaty and gross and working hard in the garden. Sorry, looked at the garlic, ADHD moment. But I'm just so happy to have everyone here with me who is watching, and know that you are loved. Make sure to go outside and get dirty. Bye guys for now.